Hello, my name is Cindy Russell with Stamp by Stamp Creations, and today I want to share with you this fun masculine card which will be perfect for Father's Day next week. It's actually an easel card. You can see it stands up there. I don't know how well you can see it from that view. Here you can see it's an easel card, but it's also a gift card holder. How fun is that? I'm going to set that aside for a minute because I want to share with you a board I made with all of the dimensions of the cards. There we go. So you can see here I've got a piece of cardstock, and the sample I'm going to be making is colored differently, but this gives you the dimensions. So the base of the card is 4 by 9 inches, and you're going to score that at 2 1/4 and 4 1/2. You need another piece of cardstock that's 4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. A piece that's 4 1/2 inches by 2 1/4 inches, and you're going to score 3 of the sides at 3/8 of an inch, and then you're going to cut off the corners here at an angle. Then you've got a small piece that's 1/2 inch by 2 inches, and you are going to need scraps to make the buttons. Then for our designer paper, we have a piece that's 5 1/2 by 4 inches, and then we have 4 pieces that are 1 1/2 inches by 1 1/2 inches. And if you didn't take a screenshot of this, I will be posting the link to a PDF with all these dimensions in it after I post the video. So to start with, we're going to take that 4 inch by 9 inch piece that we scored already, and I'm going to fold it along the score marks and crease them well. And I want them both folded the same direction so that they kind of go into the middle there, and you can kind of see here's that same piece right here of my card. So now we're just going to set that one aside, and now I'm going to take that 5 1/2 by 4 inch piece and my paper trimmer, because I need to make some slits in it. Is this down far enough? Yeah, it looks pretty good. What I'm going to do is they need to be 1 inch down, and then from each side they're going to slice in 1 inch. So I'm going to put that at the 1 inch mark. I've marked my 1 inch mark on my cutting guide with a piece of washi tape, just so it's easier for me to see it in the video. And I'm going to just go like that. And if I had remembered to mark the 3 inch mark, I could have just gone from there. But since I didn't, I will just take this, flip it over, line up my piece again, and slice. And as you can see, I've got my 2 slices in there and my 2 little flaps. And this little part up here is going to end up being the collar. All right, so I've got that. Let's get the ruler or the cutting blade thing out of the way. Now what I'm going to do is I need to take the little squares of designer paper, and these are actually going to be the sleeves of my card. So I've got my glue. Hopefully it's going to work here. Yep. So I will just take a little, and I decided to use liquid glue on this portion because that way I can make sure I get everything lined up straight. All right, that one's pretty good. Do the other sleeve. Get those on there nice and square. All right, so we've got our sleeves, and now we want to attach our sleeves to our base. And what we're going to do is we're going to put them on the diagonal, and we're going to butt up the top corner of the diamond with the edge here right where the slit is. But we don't want to line this up straight. We want this one to come out a bit to form the sleeve, as you can see right here. And it doesn't matter how far your sleeve sticks out, because you're going to fold it over when you put it in the envelope. But what I like to do is, so I remember and it makes it a little easier, now that I've got it on there, I'm going to just take my pencil and mark where I'm going to glue it on. And that way I can see exactly where to put my glue, so I don't put too much glue on the sleeve itself. So then I'm going to line that back up and put it in my pencil marks. And then I need to do the other side. And so when you do that, you got it. You kind of want to see if you can get them about the same. Let's see, it looks like it's just a little over one of my grid pieces. So let's do that. I know you don't have to be quite as picky about this as I am. But I've got that, and then I'm going to draw my pencil mark. Take my glue. Glue that right on there. And now I have the sleeves to my shirt. Now, in the video, and when I had learned how to make this on someone else's video, they didn't cover the back. They just used one piece of designer series paper, but I didn't like that the back of the sleeve didn't match the front. So I decided to kind of just double that. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take and place adhere our shirt to the card base. So since I have my liquid glue out, I'm just going to go ahead and use that. I just want to get this kind of lined up straight. All right, that looks pretty good. Then what I need to do is we have these slits that we cut into the card base. We need to get those onto, we need to cut through our designer paper. And the reason that you don't want to cut the designer paper the same way I cut the card base is that if you don't measure it right, they're not going to line up. And this way you'll know that they line up perfectly. So I'm just going to take my little snips and come through here and cut onto that, through that slit that's already there. And there I have it. So then you kind of want to bend these up a little bit. But what I'm going to need is some mini glue dots. And of course I forgot to have them sitting out, but that's okay. I have them right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a mini glue dot in each of these lower corners. And then remove the backing. Your paper piercing tool is perfect for doing this with the little mini ones. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over. But can you see how I've got a little bit of the designer paper showing? That happens when you bend it over. So what I like to do is I will just take my snips, kind of bend that so I can see that paper that just trim that off, and I'll do the same on this side. You don't have to. Maybe you like the way that looks. But I'm just a little persnickety on that. So I did that. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I want to get these top corners to meet. Kind of see if you can get them in the center. And then I'm going to press those glue dots or those Stampin' Dimensionals down. And now I have my collar. And the next step is going to be, I need to put my placket. And if you don't know what a placket is, it's this part that just holds the buttons. So I am just going to put some glue on there, and then I'm going to put it under here, kind of line it up in the middle and match up the top of that. I got that. See if I can do this without getting glue everywhere. There we go. Have that lined up and have that all glued down. All right, now what you need to do is we need to make our buttons. So I have a retired 1/4 inch circle punch, and I found that works pretty well. So I will just punch 3 circles, get those out of there. And now what I want to do is I want to take, see, my old paper piercing mat, and I'm going to just poke some little holes in the center. And you want to do it gently so that you don't bend the button too bad. And if they're not quite centered, that's okay. Then I need my glue dots, which I didn't have out either. But here we go. So let's get these off of here. Take our card, get our buttons. I've got glue on my fingers, so everything is sticking to them. All right. So I'll just put the bottom button kind of where I want it. Then I like to do the top button, and that way I can just put the middle button right between them instead of worrying about how to get them, you know, evenly spaced or whatever. But there, now I have my shirt. And so you can bend these over because you'll need them bent to get them into the envelope. But now I'm going to take my card base and I need to put the shirt on the card. And this is the section, the smaller section on the end is what I want, where I want to do it. But I want to do it this way. Let's get this all figured out right. So with my folds going down, I'm going to lay this in front of me. And then I'm going to put some, get my glue. Then I'm going to butt the edges and the bottom like that. And I know what I forgot to do. That's okay. We'll pretend. I forgot to cut my middle white piece there, but that's okay. But I did make my label. So what I did for my label, so you need to pop this label up so that your card has somewhat place to rest for the ink, someplace to rest to make that easel. And I will tell you, with the gift card in the back, it does make it a little heavy and doesn't sit right. So the gift card part is totally optional. But I'll show you what I did to make the label. So I did my sentiment. I die cut it with a label, and this is from the Tasteful Labels dies, and this is from our Layering Circles dies. What I did is I wanted to pop this up on here. So I just, oops, I don't know what I did there. Got an extra little piecer. I just took 2. And then I kind of centered it on there as close as I can. Then I took another dimensional, and I can squish it under the, make sure it's, and the reason I'm doing this is so that the ends stay popped up too. Whoops, my desk isn't flat. So then what I did is, with my white piece in the middle, I put glue on the back here and just popped it on right there. So the circle got glued down and the ends are adhered with the Stampin' Dimensionals. So then your card would basically be done. It would, I'll just put that on there like that. You can pretend there's a white piece in the middle. Ah! How come you're not staying? There. Well, honestly, it does work. This one is just not cooperating. But to make the gift card holder for the back here, I have my 4.5 by 2 1/4 piece of cardstock. And I'm going to score it at 3/8 of an inch on the 2 short sides and 1 of the long sides. All right, get that out of the way again. Go ahead and crease these really well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come with my snips and right at that corner, cut this excess cardstock away. So then you can, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of like a mitered corner that'll just sit real nice. Then what I'm going to do, and you want a really strong adhesive. I have to tell you, on this one, you can see it's already pulling away, and I used Stampin' Seal Plus, and it still is pulling away. So on this one, we're going to use our tear and tape, because I know that is really, really strong. So we'll just burnish those on there pretty good. Find my paper piercing tool to help me get off those. Let's see if I can get rid of some of my mess here. All right, so I have that. And I'm going to take the back of this and I want to put these down. And what I want to do is I want to butt up the bottom edge to this crease right here. Otherwise, I don't have enough room for the gift card itself. So then I'm actually gonna take my bone folder. All right. Here's the gift card. It fits in there perfectly. And I can already tell that the tear and tape is working a little better than the Stampin' Seal Plus on this one. And so there you have it, except for the fact that my easel doesn't want to stay open. But it's just a fun card, and it's really not that difficult. And as I said, I'll post a link to a PDF on how to make this with pictures and step-by-step directions. All the dimensions, including the white cardstock that you'll put in the center of the card. So you can see that it does stand up. For some reason, mine just didn't want to. Just a fun masculine card. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care and happy stamping. Bye-bye.